Hi, boys and girls. Your friendly neighborhood Brendan here. Um, People ask me, Brendan, talk about yourself, who you really are. And I can say this: I'm pretty much a nerd. And then people say, well, no, that's Sherlock. We all kind of knew that. I'm more of a cross between a geek and a goth. I'm a geeth. But in this video, I'm going to explain the difference between a nerd and a geek. And the thing is that a nerd is more socially awkward. Like, I can do this because I'm a geek. See, geeks are more socially affable. Where the nerd is more like a shut-in. I mean, they do go out for some things, but they are kind of closet and everything as far as like just socializing. And there's nothing wrong with that. Actually, there is what we call a nerd shut-in. It's called gamer, and those are the ones that play video games and stay in there. That's like the lowest form of nerd out there. But then you have like and they have like my case, the geeks. I specialize in stuff. I do trivia. I do history, music, wherever you can. So I'm more of a specialist. Actually, a trivia contest to a geek is more like cage fighting or MMA. And, so try and knock them out and just, put their heads, grind it in the cage, whatever, that sort of thing. But that's about as long as we get. We're pretty much pussy cats. That's a cat. But anyway, but yeah, we're more socially enabled. Geeks, we go to Comic Cons and everything. And there's a thing called cosplay, which is basically foreplay for nerds and geeks. And because sometimes geeks can be really sexy and hot. Some nerds too, they just don't like to show it. But yeah, so there's all kinds of things about like geeks and nerds. I think that they should be a Nerd History Month, but have September because that's when school starts. And growing up, I always liked the fresh smell of new clothes and the fresh smell of new Trapper Keepers. Remember those? If you're a geek or a nerd, you would understand that. But yeah, I think there should be a Nerd History Month. I also believe there should be there should be more of a cultural thing with us because we're now trying to like guide the culture into us nerddom. And there's other kinds of nerds and geeks. Of course, there's the goth. And what goth basically is a geek that likes dead things or dark things, graveyards. So, but that's what a goth is. It's basically a nerdy person that just likes to be dark and edgy and everything else. And there's also the steampunk. Basically, steampunk is a goth with weapons, and they want to be like James Bond if James Bond existed in 1850. So you have that, and then you have like all kinds of like different types of subgenres of nerddom and geekdom. But then you have like the lowest form of like of nerds and geeks, and that's the dork. The dork is a guy who pretends to be a nerd and geek because he thinks he can score with a geek girl or nerd girl and can't get anywhere, and he tries really hard. For example, he's a dummy who like will dress up as a stormtrooper in a Star Trek convention. That's a dork. There's the goth version of dorks. They work at Hot Topic. They're the ones you go up and say, "Hey, do you have like a new T-shirt of like Marcy?" "No, but we have Billie Eilish." But yeah, so you have that, and then you have and they have like the other like dorks that just pretend to be like somebody else, but but I really want to take. I really want to focus on a thing that bothers me the most. There was this racist show. Then it got pulled off the air, but I still think it's racist. If Nerds Geeks were a race, but the most racist, the most degenerating show I have ever, seen, and that was The Big Bang Theory. It's like the Amos and Andy of nerds, and it's like basically stereotypical. Like we're all about science fiction, and we all are book nerds, and we don't know how to fight, and we're a bunch of pansies, and we don't. And all we do is talk about old TV shows and science fiction. And penny, 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 penny. God, I just want to just. Sometimes you just want to just write Jim Parsons' name on the wall and just punch it. I mean, that's how much I hate the show. But it's and that's what it is. It's to me, it's racist. It's like every time I watch The Big Bang Theory, I think of holy mackerel there, Mr. Sheldons. Why are we so smart? Well, I don't know, Mr. Leonard. Because we went to college and stuff. So we have that, and then I don't know, but yeah, but that's and that's the thing. It's like the Big Bang Theory every time, and then also complain about the people in Big Bang Theory always complain about being picked on in school, being laughed at by girls, not getting a girlfriend and everything. I look at these people and go, Poindexter, please. Don't you think I've been through that already? So that's my take on Nerds and Geeks. Like, subscribe, admit that you like this. So I'll talk to you guys later. Until then, sayonara.